Hey guys, holy goodness, it is the last week. Hopefully everybody took your final already or is about to and is doing well. It's been a great class. I've enjoyed having class with you guys. Today I want to talk about some things that, actually one thing specifically that I thought was kind of useful that I found doing one of the extra credit assignments, and that was that SQL Server Management Studio will generate some scripts for you. So I ran into this case where I'd inserted a bunch of data into a table, but I wanted to recreate that table and insert the same data again, and SQL Server will do that for you, apparently. So this is just something I found. It wasn't in the book or anything, just in kind of poking around and using this thing. So I thought I'd share it with you guys, and hopefully you'll find it useful. So if you right-click on the database that you want to get information out of, you can go to Tasks, and then you can say Generate Scripts, and it will generate the script to build that entire database for you. Now, I found it a little problematic. What I ended up doing a lot to build databases and to drop them was to use the script provided by the professor, John Beck, like in HCIT, because for whatever reason, these things, it generates a bunch of options, and you'll see what I mean here. So you select generate script, and then you could select particular objects that you want to script, but I'm just going to say make the entire database for me. Then here I can save it as a file, and I can tell it where to save this thing. So I'm actually going to save it on my, let's see, in here, and I'm going to call it, what is this? This is CIS117 extra credit script. I don't think I will name that already. Okay, excellent. You could also save it to a new query window or save it to clipboard, so you got a lot of options here, but I'm going to go to advanced because this thing by default won't give you the internal data. So it will give you the structure of the table, but it won't give you the individual records. So you have to specify that. That's what I was looking for, and I think that, oh, here it is. Types of data to script, schema only. Well, you just want to change that to, we could change it to data only, but I want the schema and the data. Actually, let's see the data only. That actually might be more useful. The use case that I found was that I had a bunch of, like I said, I had a bunch of data that I had inserted into a table, and I wanted to recreate that data in a script to create the whole database. So database, then table, and then records within those tables, and that's the data that I mean, those records. So if we go ahead and hit OK, and this is just an overview or a summary, and then it's going to say whether it did or not, and it did, and I'm going to say finish. So then when I go to that script, oh shit, that's this. There you go. This thing, we call this, what do we call it? Here we go. Oh, cool. So this didn't build the entire database, which is awesome. So this just gave me the insert rows, which is exactly what I wanted. I didn't want it to build the whole database because it actually builds the database in a way that it's got all these options listed, and maybe I have one in here somewhere. I think it could be this one. Yeah, here we go. Okay, so if you say schema and data, it's going to go through all of those options that you could have selected when we selected data or schema or both, and it's going to say on or off for all these. And for whatever reason, this thing, it takes some tweaking, I guess, but I had trouble getting it to work. The one, just modifying the build scripts we had for HCIT and for some of the other databases worked a lot better. So I just modified those things, but I needed this in order to put those records into that table without having to insert all those records again by hand, which would have been a huge pain in the butt. So I found this to be a really big time saver to be able to export this data essentially and then save it as a script, so then I can then recreate this database somewhere else and get some practice building databases that way. Anyway, I hope you found this useful. Just kind of an overview. I've been a little rambly here. But you find the database you want, you go to tasks, generate scripts is what you're looking for here. and then go through whatever, like what you would call this, like a wizard, and just select the things that you want. The real tricky part here, not tricky, but the options part here is the advanced stuff. So it has all these default values, but you can change them to whatever you like, and you can see how you can get a lot of different things out of this kind of automated generate script. And I'm sure there's a ton of stuff in SQL Server Management Studio that we haven't even begun to touch yet. So I think if you plan on continuing to improve your database skills, it might be useful, it might behoove you to look into some of this stuff and actually using the IDE, as we would call it, in a programming class. Anyway, hope you guys found it useful. Feel free to comment, and have a great week and rest of your semester.